The Hollow Choir. Voices from beyond scary story time. In a forsaken town where twilight never lifts, a forsaken church stood, its spire a twisted dagger stabbing the sky. Known as the Hollow Choir, it wasn't famed for prayers, but for the voices that sang from its decayed heart. Unholy, relentless, a hymn that lured the unwary. The townsfolk hissed, "Hear it, and it claims you." They spoke of a choir lost to a blood-soaked ritual, their song a tether to a void beyond death. This is the story of Owen, who sought the music and found a chorus that craves your voice too. Owen, 22, a thrill-seeker with a recorder slung over his shoulder, rolled into town under a storm's wrath. The church loomed ahead, its walls oozing tar-like rot, its stained glass glinting with unnatural red. A melody drifted out, haunting, layered, a chorus that wove beauty with dread. At a diner, a wild-eyed waitress slammed her tray down. "Get out while you can. That choir summoned something, then vanished. It's hunting now for you." Owen smirked, adrenaline pumping. He'd record it, prove the legend, maybe sell the tale. He stormed the church at midnight, recorder rolling, flashlight slicing the gloom. The doors burst open with a groan, revealing a nave drowned in shadow, pews clawing the air, cobwebs pulsing like veins. The hymn surged, ethereal, maddening, vibrating in his bones. He grinned, whispering into the mic, "This is it." The altar pulsed, a cracked organ slamming its keys in a frenzied waltz, untouched. He hit record, but the device screeched, spitting static, his own voice echoing back, distorted. "Stay. Sing." The air turned rancid. His flashlight flickered out, and the stained glass ignited. Red light, bleeding faces that screamed silently. Figures rose, hooded, their robes dripping black ichor, their eyeless sockets glowing with a sickly fire. Their song morphed into a shriek, teeth on stone, a wail that split his ears, blood dripping from his nose. He bolted for the door, but it sealed shut, the lock melting into tar. The choir surged forward, their claws slashing his jacket, their voices weaving his name into a hypnotic dirge. He tripped, and the floor cracked, black tendrils erupting, wrapping his legs, dragging him back as they sang louder, hungrier. The church became a living nightmare, the hymn twisted into a roar, screams clashing with grinding metal, the walls pulsing like flesh. The organ erupted, its pipes spewing tar that morphed into clawing hands, snapping at Owen's throat. He swung his recorder, smashing a figure's skull. It dissolved into smoke, only to reform, its tongue lashing out, coiling around his wrist. The pews shattered, their splinters flying like daggers, piercing his arms as the choir pinned him down. A voice thundered from the organ, "Sing, or be sung." His recorder flared, playing his own screams, warped, multiplied, joining the chorus against his will. He clawed free, lunging for a broken window, but the glass reformed, trap in his hand. Tar oozed from the frame, burning his skin as it pulled him back. The choir's hoods fell, skulls with writhing tongues, their sockets weeping black ooze that hissed on the floor. They forced his mouth open, claws slicing his lips, and the song flooded in, scorching his throat, freezing his lungs. The stained glass melted into a vortex, red and black, sucking the air inward. A figure loomed, towering, its face a mass of eyes and fangs, ripping Owen upward, his bones cracking as it tore his chest open, his voice spilling out in a tortured hymn. The organ swallowed him, his body dissolving into tar and smoke, his scream echoing as the pipe sang on louder, richer. Dawn crept over a silent town, the church still, its doors ajar, the organ humming faintly. Owen's recorder lay shattered, but his voice drifts from it, pleading, "Run," before laughing, a sound not his own. The hollow choir sings now, fuller, hungrier, weaving your name into its melody. At dusk, it calls, beautiful, deadly, daring you to listen, to step inside, to sing.